Hey, what's up, y'all? Kenny here and Tan. We're going to talk about Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, Episode 1. Basically, new channel, who dis? I don't know. We're just going to talk about it. I don't like that opening. Tad, you try something. Try something. Give us some energy.
All right, what's up, guys? You're on our first video of this new channel. It's called Kenny and Tad's Hot Takes. And our first hot take today is going to be on Jujutsu Kaisen, Episode 1, but Season 2. So what do you get out of the show right away, Kenny?
Look, here's the thing. Pat, I usually really like those super powerful characters like Gojo. I thought he was like a really sweet, badass character on the first season. But now that we're like going back, like, look, first thing I want to say is I hate fucking prologue. You know what I mean? Like, I hate prologues. When you take me back, I'm like invested in a character and an arc and a story. And then all of a sudden you pause and it's like hitting the rewind button, you know, like, oh, all of a sudden, like, I kind of hate that. Like for instance, The Hobbit against like Lord of the Rings, like, hate it. I don't hate The Hobbit, but like show me The Hobbit first and then show me Lord of the Rings and then show me The Two Towers. But like when you do it backwards like that, Star Wars are the same thing. You know what I mean? Like when you go backwards, it don't feel right with me. So I don't know. What do you think about the whole going backwards thing?
Well, how I felt is it kind of caught me off guard. I didn't know it was going to start that way. I read the manga, so when they're going back, I was like, what's going on? But then you figure it out. And I figured they're doing that because they're trying to like build some history of why, how Geto, I don't know, maybe how Geto gets, how he gets, because I didn't mind the prologue movie, you know, Jujutsu Kaisen 0. I actually enjoyed it a lot. But this prologue to start season 2, I feel like maybe they should have started with something after the season 1 and then at least let us know, like put a time, say 5 years ago or something. You know, it just caught me off guard. I was looking for some action right away, you know, to see what's happening with Itori. We'll see how it goes. What I did notice is like Gojo, he seems like an asshole, man. Like
The best kind though.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, you know, because if you've seen Jujutsu Kaisen 0, you know, Geto is like the main bad guy. And to me, when I'm watching that, it's like he seems like the good guy, you know, because how he was talking, how he's getting with Gojo.
I don't know. You kind of get those vibes like throughout, like whoever wrote this villain, you know, like quote unquote villain, like gives them really good like motivations, right? So I don't hate that part. I don't know. None of those things like really bothered me. I think what bothered me the most about the first one is just that whole prologue thing when you really reverse it. So like, for instance, like in 0, right? I think 0 was totally straightforward because it had like a character arc. It was a character and, you know, the girl he was with that he cursed. And so like those two specific things like created a character arc and a journey for us, like beginning, middle, and end. And I know this is just the first episode and like it's asking us to be patient with the pacing, but I am not patient right now. Like this is probably the worst episode / movie, any piece of like animated content so far, only because I'm not patient right now. So I mean, like that's my fault, but I don't know. I don't know how you feel about that.
No, I felt the same too. But sometimes it is tough to be patient. But some animes, you know, patience pays off. So I'm just hoping that that's what it's gonna happen. And it is nice to see how Gojo was before.
Yeah,
they pretty much said it. You know, when they were going to fight those. What was that? I got the Q people.
Yeah, and they got the Q group and then the Time Vessel group. Two things. That's another thing that I had against this. Like, if I got to be taking notes to like watch something, like for the most part, like that's just too much, man. That's like, you know, I know we're creating our own manga / anime, and like one of the things that I always talk about when we're developing our characters and our kind of backstory is like, if it's too complicated, it just gets lost. And you know, when I was a kid, when I was younger, when I was writing these like really big world building stories with like time travel and gods and goddesses, like it gets really confusing. Maybe it's not for the people who are like, I don't know, really smitten with the genre, but like I still think given what it is, because like you introduce two things all in one episode, 20 minutes, you've introduced the Q group and the Time Vessel group, right? And then also, by the way, Zenin, which is like not, he took his wife's name or something now, he's Fushiguri? Guru or something, Fushiguru, right? Like that. Yeah. Where did that come from? So like, but there's so many things that we gotta unpack, and like if you're not taking notes, you're done, dude. See you later.
Well, but sometimes that's good because like some animes, it's kind of cool when the stuff starts coming together, and it actually makes you want to rewatch the other older episodes, at least for me, so you can say, oh yeah, they did talk about that there and there. In fact, in this season 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen, they talk about Yurigi. I can't remember his name offhand, but the guy with the cursed spirit that was following him around. There's hints where they got talking about him, especially when the two schools met up. They're asking if he's not there. They pretty much figured they would win. The group with AO Total was in it.
Oh yeah, they haven't reintroduced him yet, have we? Like we haven't seen him yet, right?
No, not in the regular series, but
right.
They did mention his name. I remember specifically at that part. You know.
Yeah. That's right. They have one shot of him, like a back shot, like you don't see him, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, there is one shot of him. I was like trying to pick it out, but like it's not. I don't think that's been resolved yet. Okay, so here's the stuff that I really liked about it. They definitely brought up their A-team when it comes to the animation. There's a ton of rotoscope in there. Their 3D modeling. They probably overdid it, but like I don't know if it's cheaper or easier. It might be actually to just like 3D model some of the scenery opposed to like actually matte paint it. So they did a lot more of that. So I kind of appreciated that, but the color is on point. Like it's more matte. It matches more. Like it doesn't like it's not as jarring as the first season. Where the first season was, there's like times where like the I don't even know what the correct term would be. Like I guess the atmospheric hazing didn't like properly. There's like a contrast between the characters and the background. Where this time they had some kind of like they fiddled with it more. Whatever.
Was it? I'm not sure if it was the same studios because I know Matt was doing season 2.
That's a good question. Probably look it up, and I'll probably put it on the screen right now. Like, was it the same studio? Like, even it could be the same studio, but it's not the same. Even like within the same studio, they have different. Like, I mean, it's close. I mean, it's not enough to be jarring. It's not enough to be like, wow, this is a whole different style. But I just appreciated that. Like, there's definitely more. It feels like there's more frames per second. Like, you know what I mean? And that might just be an artifact of the first episode, but I don't know.
Well, maybe like because the first season did really well, so maybe they had a bigger budget. They made it better. You know?
Yeah. Did the first season? We're sure the first season did really well. I mean, I'm guessing it did, but I mean, I'm watching season 2, so.
You said you watched season 1, right? Come on now.
Well, I'm caught up, bro. I'm caught up. Look, I'm caught up.
Okay.
All right. Now, I mean, I started reading like the manga a little bit, and it's beat for beat so far. So I'm pretty happy with that. I always love that like the manga is so beat for beat to the anime. That's so cool. Like in American comics, it's so different. For instance, Injustice. If you read Injustice, the comic versus Injustice, the movie or whatever, the DC animated movie, it's so different. It's literally a complete different take. It's never beat for beat, right? So like, I just think it's so cool when they animate stuff beat for beat. It really gives you like, I guess it gives you inspiration. Like I said, like we're creating that manga or /anime/ fucking, comic book. And if we get to it, like that's kind of how I would want to see it, like beat for beat come on screen,
Yeah, I agree. But I think sometimes when things get animated, the animation actually passes the manga. Then they start adding fillers. I've seen that in different animes. But some fillers are good, but some are just like you want to get back to the story. I'm assuming this is like, because I haven't read a manga. I'm hoping this is like part of the manga, like they're purposely making it like that because they must be building up something. And this character Fushiguro, I don't know. He seems interesting. I think he's gonna be like.
I think isn't that the leader of the what is it? Old girl, with Maki or whatever, her father, whatever.
Oh, I don't know. I might have to.
I think it's her father, the green hair girl's father. She's a Zen, and he says he took his wife's name. I don't know, man. That's gonna be that's one. I think that's what it's supposed to be. Their father. I think it's their father.
I kind of want to know more about May. I have a feeling she's like super powerful, because I remember seeing her in season 1, but they didn't show anything about her, and then Gojo was saying she was strong. Kind of interested.
So where was she in season 1? Remind me here. Where was she in season 1?
They didn't show her that much, but I was like, I think when they're kind of like doing the schools were doing the tests, they're there's like the room where other sorcerers are kind of like watching what was going on, and she was in there.
Mm-hmm. So, okay. I'll tell you what though. Remember the opening is pretty badass where they're falling down from the skyscraper and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. I ain't gonna lie. I drew that when I was a kid. I drew that a different story. It was about aliens and all that kind of stuff, but I drew that when I was a kid for damn sure. So thank you for stealing it and showing me what that's supposed to look like. What do you think about that star plasma vessel? Like, did you fully understand that?
Well, this is what I was thinking. So it's probably some human that can handle this curse. This is what I took from watching it. Some human that they found out like a human that can handle this curse, and that's why it's called the Star Vessel. And I honestly think that the curse that's going to transfer to it or whatnot, I don't think it's going to happen. I think they're pretty much setting it up where like that curse is going to evolve. I'm assuming it's pretty interesting. So we'll have to see. But
it's tough to care because like we kind of know that all these people survive, you know, like we've seen all these people in the future. So I don't know. Like we're gonna get some scars for sure, right? But
maybe it leads to like why Geto is how he is, or maybe he's already kind of like that, but he's just not showing it yet. Or that's what I was kind of thinking. Or maybe because it's like devouring those curses, and maybe they start affecting him. I'm not sure.
The cool thing is though, we kind of know how old they are. So they look really young for their age because like, okay, so in that, they're like 17, 18 or 19, right? They're still in school, maybe 16, right? They're still in school. And then like, even at the ending, they're like playing Street Fighter, like at the arcades and stuff, which puts them at like our age, right? So like they're in their 40s now, which they look amazing for being in their 40s. And they're teaching too. So, I mean, that makes sense, but I don't know. All in all, I just think it was a pretty solid episode, but look, I mean, you just got to be patient, I guess. I'm going to be patient. I mean, it's not bad. It's just so much setup. And there's like, they gave me 4 things to think about. Like, it gave me okay. So I got notes here. Star Plasma Vessel, Hugh Group, and then in now is Fushigori, and then the Time Vessel Group. So, like, there's a ton of stuff to unpack there. And honestly, if I was just watching casually, like I usually do, I don't know that I would have cght any of that. I would have just been waiting for season 2, or episode 2, rather.
I agree. People will probably invest the time. I think this episode is just a straight setup episode. The next one might be the same too. I don't know, but hopefully they're setting up for something really big to happen and exciting. And I'm looking forward to when they start getting some fights and get back to the figures. It's super.
All right, final thoughts, Tad. What do you think about next episode? What do you think is going to happen? Where are we going?
I think next episode there's going to be more fighting, more action, probably to get people like re-engaged. I think that we're going to find out more about the Star Vessel, this girl. Like it seemed like she was knocked out with Geto, so I wonder what her personality is going to be like.
Yeah,
I think kind of interested in that. And if she's the vessel, I mean, there's a chance something could happen to her. That's what I'm kind of thinking. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's going to be like mostly action, 80% action next episode. But the thing that scares me is like because of the grand opening, how they just like reimagined the entire opening and you don't see Itadori and his cohort anywhere. Like I'm kind of scared that like for 12 episodes, we're going to be following Gojo. And I'm not saying he's a boring character or anything like that, but like we're pretty invested in that new cohort, that new generation, you know, which is unusual because usually I don't give a damn about that generation and like what the hell they're doing. But they were a really solid. I mean, they wrote them so well. Like you gotta feel good about that they wrote them so well that I guess maybe they're setting something up with Gojo, right? They like he's gonna get the hurt real bad because why else would you set him up like this, right? So that's kind of my thought.
I do think they're setting something up with him, and he is a very popular character. So maybe they're like teasing fans. Well, they probably wrote this before that it became animated. I'm sure they're setting something up. Something big's gonna happen with him. I don't know what. We'll see.
All right, bro. I think we need to end it because my battery's at 1% and I'm on the charger here. So take us out, Tad.
All right. Well, this was our first episode. We'll be doing a weekly reviews and hot takes on Jujutsu Kaisen, and we'll be getting into some other anime. So stay tuned. We got a bunch of stuff coming for you.